Alright, let me see. Let me upload a screenshot really quick. Oh, thank you. This one. Ah, god damn it. Sure. Fucking legionary. Yeah, nice job, Gwen. She's just covering me, man. I'll do this one. Underworld. They sue. Where is this on disc? Hang on. Alright, time for Rogue Trader. Where is it? Yeah. Oh. Wait, I launched it, right? Hello? Yep, I did. Keep forgetting it's Unity game. Alright, I've done this area. Find the seal on Janice. Okay, I need to do that. Why? The astropathic core has caught horrifying visions coming from my prison colony, essentially. It will seal the enemy underground. One of the smaller vats. Well, I don't know why I was complaining about this game yesterday. I think I just needed a break. But I do like the immersion factor of the travel. Even though the fights can be sometimes annoying because they're pretty easy. But it's all good. It's the reality of travel through warp, so they had to do it. I suppose it's more memorable this way, rather than being forgettable. Kind of similar to Dragon Age Origins. People complain about the deep roads and the fade, but I think the length and tedium and difficulty of it added to the immersion of what was described in the lore as a dangerous area. What have we got here, dude? Plasticine. I think I have enough plasticine. There's too much of plasticine as it is. Alright, got a ship. Oh, it's an explore area. Okay, never mind.
A Xenos among humans. Inviting her to join us is like clasping a serpent to your bosom.
Don't Monkey believe that hardship brings fortitude. Use me as a whetstone for your spirit if you wish, but keep your impure speech to yourself from now on.
And she's got a point, Argenta.
Always keep your eye on the prize. You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none. You will fall. On it.
I understand. That is beneath me. This tedium is beneath me.
My gut tells me it's a bad idea. It's as good as done. Who, if not me? I'll make it happen. I'll see to it personally. It's as good as done.
Nice, dude. The music in this is pretty fucking sick.
Beyond science comprehends all. Running binary override. Request approved. My vow is to serve.
I'll do what it takes.
Just a minor setback.
Get me a target. Let's see to it. I won't object to it. Alas, no.
Iron Arm.
Let's see to it.
I am not your Xenos pet. Deal death with my hands. If I must. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. If it serves your cause, I hear you moving no more.
Nice, dude. Wreck that shit.
This tedium is beneath me.
Scorn the pain. Focus, Van Kalos. Focus.
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds, uneradicated. As the Emperor commands. Pursue my Emperor!
Nice.
High momentum.
Follow my lead. I will do my duty. We'll rule the stars themselves.
The music in this game is pretty sick.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. Indeed. One fewer target. It will be done.
Who, if not me? I refuse.
Another soul slips beyond the veil.
I won't stand for it. I'll see to it personally.
The Omnissiah. Computation failed. Running binary override. Suffering is part of the trial.
God damn. Right. Come in my side, dude.
This way!
You dead now. Do you think so?
If I must.
Bitch wrecked. Nice. Your later so good, dude. The combat and abilities in this game are pretty good, man. It's a really good way to do XCOM style combat. There is a lot of buffing and stuff, but you know, it's better than real time where there'd be a shit ton of it. And there's good inter-class interactions. My character, the Commissar, is a Grand Strategist right now. I think if you level up a class to level 16, and then you choose an advanced class, and then later on you get to choose another advanced class. So my character is built around giving other people's buffs and other people's turns. How does it compare to Troubleshooter? I think Troubleshooter had a lot more to it in terms of, you know, putting skills together to come up with builds and stuff. But I think it feels more satisfying in this game. Because I suppose Pathfinder was the same. It gives you really... Okay, let me restart. The difference between like Baldur's Gate 3 and, you know, this game is Pathfinder or Owlcat, the developer which did Pathfinder: Rise of the Righteous, and this game Rogue Trader. They let you pick really OP skills from early on. So from the very start, class building, you're given access to very good skills. Which sounds unbalanced, but it's not really. So every time you level up, there's something great to pick, which you will see the benefits of relatively quickly. Whereas in Baldur's Gate 3, early game, you know, the skills and whatever you have, they're good, but you don't feel like a powerhouse until late game. In this game, the powerhouse journey is pretty good. So both from a combat and RP standpoint, this game is really good at selling the power fantasy of your character being, you know, a good an actual leader and a strong person. So I think that's how Owlcat does it. Even from very early on, you pick abilities that sound really good. And as you build your character, the interactions with other classes, there's a lot of buffing and stuff, and debuffing, but it all works together. So compared to Troubleshooter, I think Troubleshooter is a different type of combat. I think Troubleshooter felt quite good, because Troubleshooter had a shit ton of skills. Like a crazy amount of skills to choose from. And when you equip certain skills together, you get, you know, your bonuses. And that is how your builds come together. Although I don't remember there being as much interplay between the classes as this game. But to be fair, I'm playing this on hard, which is the second highest difficulty. Troubleshooter, for most of the game, I didn't really feel like challenged. So I probably need to up the difficulty in Troubleshooter a bit. Because, like I was saying yesterday, whenever I get warp trouble encounters of low difficulty, it just, you know, feels like, you know, wasting of time. Which was a similar thing in Troubleshooter when it throws a shitload of enemies at you, but you're not really challenged. But the mission structure in Troubleshooter is definitely more combat focused. Over here, there are only a few set encounters, you know, that are designed with that in mind. I think Troubleshooter had a lot more of combat-focused design encounters, the missions. Whereas here, only a few main missions are like that. Where there are mechanics and stuff into play of the enemies that you need to take into account and work around that. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense because I'm kind of thinking as I go along rather than thinking it out first and saying. But I don't know, I think it's a different type of game. All I can is, well, yeah. Yeah. Because it's been a while for Troubleshooter, right? So I can only say things as I recall them. Troubleshooter had some cool missions, whereas this game is more of a RPG. Like your traditional RPG with quests and stuff, Troubleshooter is, you know, kind of like a visual novel style of storytelling tied into combat missions. So yeah, variety is good, right? Variety within the genre is needed, both from a writing and story standpoint, because Troubleshooter was really good story as well. It's a JRPG style story without many of the JRPG tropes. I think when I play the Troubleshooter DLCs, I'll play on the random difficulty modifiers, the cruel difficulty modifiers, where enemies get a lot more skills and stuff. I would be a lot more engaged, I think, if I did that. But yeah. But yeah, these guys succeed at making your character feel like a powerhouse, you know? They're still hard bosses and stuff where you need to learn the mechanics, and that take me a few tries to come up with the strategy and learn the mechanics and to address them. But yeah, these guys are good at selling the power fantasy. Because people who are good at these type of games say even the hardest difficulty isn't that hard if your build is good, you know. So that's another type of thing. But yeah, like Baldur's Gate 3, my build was sort of, you know, researched, so it wasn't completely my full build. It wasn't completely my full build, right? In Baldur's Gate 3, it was pretty much I was following a build with some of my decisions. Not for the characters, but for my player character. So when I played Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, I knew what to do in my first playthrough, which I spent 70 hours in before restarting. But when I restarted, I tried to do my own thing, but I already had that benefit of knowledge of other players. So even though I did my own thing, I kind of knew what was OP and broken, so it'll, you know. Whereas I think Troubleshooter and this game, Rogue Trader, I'm completely blind. Well, yeah, 95% blind, 98% blind, so I'm doing my own thing. But yeah, it's pretty good, man. Yeah. Yeah, Warhammer 40k is pretty good, because Space Marine 2 was epic in terms of, you know, making you feel like a powerhouse. Because if you remember, I made that comparison, right? In Halo, you don't really feel like a powerhouse. You are strong, but, you know, elites will humble you. You know what I mean? Like, elites or, you know, will bring you down to earth, and it's a different type. You are powerful than a Senate soldier, but you're not God, I would say. Whereas the Astartes in Space Marine 2, they're still fighting hard enemies. But the animations and fantasy is designed around making you feel like a powerhouse, both from a story and gameplay perspective. Yeah, Halo is hard, man. Halo is a hard game for sure. It's a different kind of design ideal. Baldur's Gate 3, you don't feel like it was hard for the first 5 levels where you could miss a lot and you didn't have many skills. But Baldur's Gate 3, you are kind of one of the party members. And even in a gameplay perspective, it doesn't start coming together till endgame where your character becomes strong. But even then, you know. No, actually, never mind. Baldur's Gate 3 did become pretty easy a bit later. But, like I said, it wasn't completely my build, so that probably contributed. Having an OP build will always make games feel easy. Whereas, you know, I'll fuck it, I'll repeat it, man. Why not, right? I like Pathfinder and this game. Even the writing, they make you feel like a powerful leader when you may have to make roleplay decisions in dialogue, how it's addressed, how your companions address you. So, which is a difference, but variety is always good. But all in all, going back to how the combat is really good. The class building is really good. The It is, yeah, quite solid. I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, I had a complaint with the easier fights feeling like a waste. Well, that's a slight complaint, but that was in Troubleshooter as well, right? If you did the easier mission in Troubleshoot where they had 100 enemies on screen, and you had to move all your characters in turn-based mode. You know what I mean? You have to move your characters across the entire map in turn-based mode. So that does drag things out a bit, especially if there are 100 enemies and none of them are that hard. Whereas in this game, it's a different kind of game, I suppose. The missions, the maps are designed differently. The maps here are designed as RPG maps with combat and both interactive story elements and NPCs to talk to potentially built in. Whereas those are pure combat missions. So it's different. But yeah. I would say both were pretty good, man. But this game is lore heavy, right? This game is lore heavy.
Vengeance will be swift.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it.
But yeah, I would say both are worth playing, dude.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Look no further.
This is more of a story RPG, but if you're into it, I think it's worthwhile playing. But let me complete the game before I come to that conclusion. Before I come to a conclusion, sorry. Troubleshooter, you would probably enjoy it on the hardest difficulty with the cruel modifiers, which randomize things a lot. The builds the enemies have and all. But there would also be a lot of filler in between that drags things out. But you like grinding. So who knows, you know?
The machine god grants me insight.
Because there are a lot of skills to grant out, farm out in that game. And lots of builds potential locked behind those things. Because from what I read on the forum when I was discussing it, there's some of the OP skills are hidden behind you harming your allies. Because using those skills will unlock more future skills where the really OP stuff lies apparently, so I don't fucking know, man. But, you know, who knows? I didn't play Fire Emblem on the hardest difficulty either, so who knows? But Fire Emblem,
Keep
it
your
was
wits
just,
about you.
Dimitri carrying me, essentially. Because he is really fucking broken.
Experience? Nothing matters more.
And it's crazy how strong Dimitri was.
Let us not dawdle.
I don't think... I don't even remember what I did with Dimitri, dude. But I suppose at my difficulty I didn't need to do a lot. Yeah, I don't remember what I did. He just became broken without me even trying. At least on the difficulty I played on. And Ingrid ended up being pretty fucking good as well, the Dodge King. Because they just sent her to assassinate the mages. Even Hubelard? I'm confusing it with Abelard in this game. Hubert, yeah. It's pretty funny just sending Ingrid off the side without aggroing enemies to just assassinate him. Because fuck his meteor showers or whatnot he uses. The long range shit. I don't remember Fire Emblem that to be honest, I don't remember it that well. My brain's going, man. I do remember some of hard missions, like Marian's loyalty mission. That was pretty fucking hard. But apparently I read online later that you can just leave her in place. If you don't move her, nothing triggers. I suppose I remember the final mission where Demon Edelgard throws shit at you. The least amount of story. You don't listen to music, man. I don't know. I fear Claude's route might not be that different, but I kind of want to hear that track. Well, I suppose listening to the soundtrack spoiled me. Because he fights Nemesis, right? Claude. That's the problem with listening to... Are they very different to Dimitri's? Because when you look up soundtrack, you get spoiled, right? Either via your recommendations or via comments. And Claude fights Nemesis. Claude has the most lore, right? The most answers.
I always have a backup plan.
Conrad Wagner. That's pretty cool. I like when the epic
Pay
music kicks
attention.
in. Even the gear in this game is pretty good. The bonuses. So you're constantly struggling to pick. So you just have to go with what... There are lots of good choices, so you just have to go with what your build is.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
After story epilogue and Ed's route. Which route saves Sotis, man? Which route brings to life again? Sotis-chan.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Nah, fuck it. I'll wait till... I'll play it once more. I'm not sure I'll do it 4 times. But I'll play it once more. Fuck it, man, I will explore every single thing in this thing. I have to go all the way here. I suppose I can still explore it on the way back. I've already hit 50% completion. Okay, I can use points to make things safer, which is good to know. Can I do more projects? I have so many projects on this thing. Diagonals, projects. Free from moral restrictions, I'm not building that. Even though the bonuses are good. 20% scrap for winning battles. Oh no. Heretical. Nah, I don't want to go heretical. Roleplay wise. I'm not doing min-maxing stuff. It has to be balanced.
Is there money to be made?
Nice. I do know a friend that got in touch again when I was fucking around in Final Fantasy. They said there is a point of no return, which is after these quests. So that's kind of why. That's the only thing I know. So I might just explore beforehand. Or I might just go there and explore on the way back, you know. Hang on. Let me use the restroom and refill my water bottle. Give me like 5 to 10 minutes. I'll just put these dishes away as well. We'll be back in like 5, about 10-ish, realistically. Eat up a burrito. Let me see. Let's see if there's something I can watch for like 5 to 2 minutes. I have to eat. But thank you. Let's see what he thinks. Skip to the end. Shouldn't take me long.
To our positives, negatives, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So, on the positive side of things, for me, I've got to say exploration, the setting, the city of Baghdad were all really cool places to get into and explore. I think while nothing mind-blowing or anything, it just really suits the gameplay experience that they were actually trying to give people here. And surprising even me, it wound up being one of my favorite parts of this experience. On top of that, it must be said that I honestly kind of enjoyed the tighter focus here. This game seems to know exactly what it's trying to do, and it doesn't really get carried away with a bunch of side stuff. And for this sort of stealth action-oriented game, I think that makes a lot of sense in a way that gameplay-wise was a lot of fun. However, we do have those negatives, and one of those being that while the game does have that tighter focus, the story that it's telling you as part of that is just honestly kind of meh. All of the interesting stuff happens at the end, and while Basim is an interesting character, nobody else surrounding him really is, so it was hard to get invested in much of anyone. On top of that, the clunky movement, especially the weird collision stuff with like every animal in the game. The fact that it constantly feels like you're transitioning into parkour when you were just like walking down the street, which means you get stuck on a bunch of stuff all the time. Sometimes you go to jump off of something and it takes you in like a completely weird direction. And there's just a lot of stuff about the movement, especially that feels clunky in a way that a game like this really shouldn't feel clunky in. But that does bring us to our conclusion. So Assassin's Creed Mirage is to this day $50 US as a base game. It's my understanding that that is what the game launched at as well. And I can see what they were going for there with it being a shorter experience.
Never mind, I'm not going to play this. Six blades of grade.
But currently, right now, the way I'm bringing you this video is actually that they have a demo that is available until then. And after checking it out and honestly having a really good time with it, I decided to obviously share that with people. But speaking for myself, of course, Styx is a game series that I have been a little familiar with but had not played previously, though there are some things that I knew about it. For instance, like the universe it's set in of orcs and men does some fun stuff with like twists on the usual things. In particular, for the Styx games, we play as Styx, a goblin, who is a master of stealth, which is kind of necessary when you live in a world where humankind actually persecutes orcs, goblins, and basically anything different from them really, which has resulted in no small amount of conflict with, obviously, the orcs especially, but playing as a goblin, you require a little bit more finesse, as you are not exactly a hardened warrior who is going to survive a lot of hits to the face. Now, there have been, as you probably picked up from that, a couple of other Styx games, 2, I believe, in fact. But the reason I wanted to jump in and check out this one is really because of the approach it is taking to exploration, movement, and approaches to various things. So probably the first thing to know is that despite the fact that this is a stealth game, you're going to have access to multiple areas, a character hub. You'll be able to do quests for companions that hang out with you on said hub, which is actually a zeppelin that you'll be flying around the continent in. But what that means functionally is, outside of being able to travel between these different areas, is that they are large open hubs that you'll be running around and trying to complete objectives, be those things for your companions, so to speak, or your actual main objectives. Which brings us to the crux of the story. So in this particular game, Styx is after a substance known as quartz, which is being used to power all sorts of crazy machinery, and as it turns out, also Styx. So he has been absorbing hoarding the stuff in large quantities, which is giving him access to all sorts of powers, which also just happens to put you on a collision course with a group known as the Inquisition that has even the human NPCs calling them out as creepy. And while stealth obviously plays the biggest and most prominent role, and that includes stuff you would expect, stealth kills, things like that, there's also apparently going to be, according to the Steam page, a sort of Metroidvania style progression where you'll be picking up things like grappling hooks, a glider that's going to let you obviously glide around, especially in the area like the wall, which is set up very vertically. Now, like I mentioned, we are after all of that quartz, and that is going to actually see us progressing in that way as well. Basically, as you hoover up all the quartz that you're after, it's going to give you points and things, and you'll earn talent points as well that you'll put into various abilities, like the ability to clone yourself or set up cocoons, also just turn invisible for short periods of time, things like that. You'll also collect blueprints, which will give you access to tools like darts and acid vials, things like that you'll be able to utilize in various ways at the same time. But then, of course, there's also the basic stealth mechanics, and while that obviously does include things like line of sight, there's also things like managing the sounds you make. That is to say, running into things can produce sound, dropping from heights onto non-soft surfaces can cause noise that then guards will come investigate, things like that. But there's also all sorts of environmental stuff that you can use to your advantage as well, such as knocking down chandeliers or other heavy objects onto enemies, which is always a classic. You can, even if you find them, poison things that the enemies will be eating from or drinking from. And those things, combined with the different abilities and skills, on top of also the pretty intricately laid out areas that you find yourself running through, just had me feeling like I had a ton of ways to address any given situation. And so putting a lot of that together, like I mentioned, I just enjoyed this more than I thought I would, not least of which because of its approach to these large open areas, acting more as hubs that you can explore and find your way through, and then you get that actual player hub for you via the Zeppelin. And I simply find myself wondering exactly what the limits of a lot of this stuff are. Like I mentioned, there was one of your crew members that gave me a quest, which seems to imply at least that these guys get like little storylines. All of the progression was fun, exploring was fun, but nonetheless, I do have a couple of concerns before I leave you guys with this one, and that is two things primarily. One, the controls take some getting used to. Like, for instance, in order to scale a wall, you have to like jump first and then dash into the wall, and then you'll start climbing up, which just feels strange, all things considered. And on top of that, I would say pretty much all the voice acting, at least in the demo, was a little on the rough side, which isn't a deal breaker for me personally, but I do know it's the kind of thing that grates on some people, so figured I would mention it for sure. Putting all of that together, however, I just wanted to say that I had a really good time with this demo, and while I am not committing to reviewing this, it releases in full on February 19th, I believe. It's certainly on my radar, and if I find myself with some spare time, I may well choose to go ahead and take a look at it. Now, if I did move to review this title, some of the questions that I would have in mind for my own personal curiosity.
The space combat there. Yeah, fuck it. I think I'll just get the exploration done with. At least as much
Let
as
us
you can
not
do
do
without
that.
running, without resources.
Thanks to Sister Argenta's efforts, the streets of Footfall are now a little cleaner. Destroying a cult cell is a worthy accomplishment.
Yes, it is a commendable deed.
Champion of the Abyss, permanent +2 bonus to.
I always
Okay.
keep my options open.
That was weird.
My success is an irrefutable certainty. Operation successful.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
I have learned much in my exile.
Keep your wits about you.
Alright, it was just a mini event, which is kind of cool. Let's go back. How much adamantite do I have? I have enough for now, I'll leave it. Strike of Prunos ability works like this ass. Once per combat. It's pretty good. Alright, space combat time.
Their efforts will be for naught.
All hands, prepare for acceleration. Fire at will. Torpedo. With the force of a supernova. Salvo! Coordinates set. ahead. Lance battery. Bobby! Fire at will. Engage the engines.
I am amazed that we prevailed.
Nice. Alright, give me the loot. Where am I, dude? Alright, have a good one, Token.
always keep your eye on the prize.
Arc rifle. Inflicts the damage they get. Okay. Deadly repeater. Ooh, laser sniper rifle. Oh yeah. I need that on my character.
I always have a backup plan. Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Are you ready to die?
On it. I'll make it happen.
I understand your intent.
It's as good as done. I'll make it happen. On it. I'll see to it personally. get to it.
Let's get to it.
Here we go.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. You, my Emperor! Doubt is for the weak.
Hold on. Out of my way. Let's make it quick.
But of course, Lord Captain. Let's see to it. I won't do that. I'll put my psychic abilities to use. Be gone. I won't object to it.
Let's get to it.
Throne take you.
Hear you moving, no more. You cannot force me, Alantak. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. Another soul slips beyond the veil.
High momentum.
Victory is imminent. For von Valancius! A tactically sound approach. It will be done. Indeed. Reduced to dust! Brace yourself, Abelard.
Let us not dawdle.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Once, dude.
Cast your eye there.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Over there. We should deal with this.
Under the bridge.
I always keep my options open.
My success is an irrefutable certainty. This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality. Locomotives are fully operational. The machine god grants me insight.
Mutant Slayer.
Keep your wits about you. I always have a backup plan.
Duty prevails.
Is there money to be made?
Catch up with what's found, Earth. I don't know where that is.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Join me in prayer.
I'll make an example out of you!
Give me strength.
I'll make it happen. I won't compromise my principles. My gut tells me it's a bad idea.
If it serves your cause, I'll deal death with my hands. I am not your...
Your end was inevitable. Who, if not me?
Running by narrative significant value.
I understand your intent. I will not. This tedium is beneath me.
Emperor, protect me. Quick, quick!
Injun! I'm enraged! guided by faith. As the Emperor, stroke is a prayer. I'll do it.
I can't stand it!
It's nothing.
Scorn the pain. For the throne's glory.
I've suffered worse. My place is at the fore. It will be done. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call.
Emperor, protect me!
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Here's my perfect moment.
Another soul slips beyond the veil. If I must. Stop trying, monkey. You cannot force me, Elantak. I deal death with my hands. That is beneath me.
Taking calculated risk is my second nature.
Flesh is weak, yet iron knows no pain. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends.
You will pay an even greater price. I am not your Xenos.
I'll do what it takes.
I've suffered worse.
Protect me.
This way!
Focus, Van Kellogg's. Focus. I won't object to it.
I will do my duty. It will be done. Indeed. It will be done.
My faith shields me.
I am ready for whatever comes. I'll see to it personally. On it.
I will do my duty. Victory is imminent.
Reading damage to Volk. Explorers know one route. Forward.
My reckoning will be swift, if it serves your cause. Hear you moving. No more.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Kemorak.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Watch your steps.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Rush not dawdle.
Vänta, vad släpper inte jag?
Keep your wits about you.
God damn it, dude. My parents and my brother are calling. Oh well, I might as well go talk to them. Then I'll have a shower, I think.